Welcome back on into the real with Joseph Latman. I am Joseph Latman. Hope you guys have a good week. Welcome on back into episode 101. Yeah, we're in the 100s now. Still celebrating reaching 100 episodes. You can see I still got my sign there on the wall. I'm gonna keep that up there. Yeah, it was really cool to kind of just sit and reflect the last couple of days since we did our live stream Sunday night on doing episode 100. By the way, if you haven't checked out episode 100, you guys really missed out on a treat. The first about half of the show, it was a lot of football talk. We got some heated debates, though, very entertaining about the Browns and what they should do with Kevin Stefanski and all that, what's really going on there. And then in the back half of the show, though, eventually just became myself, my father, and Dan Malott. And we told some great, Dan told some great stories. My dad told some great stories. We were up there telling some just crazy story time. It was really entertaining. If you guys want to hear some crazy stories about some former athletes, celebrities, and just some crazy stories about just some interactions or just things you know about people at certain stores. Like both Dan and my dad worked at the same uh, worked in the car business together for about I think 12 years it was. So have a lot of same connections and stuff. With a lot of the same guys because they all work together. So they were up there telling stories about some crazy old car stories as well, and it was really funny, a lot of the stories, and it was really cool just to sit back and just chop it up with those two, and it'd be cool if if you want to just sit back and just relax, listen to some funny stories and crazy and some interesting stuff too. There were some really interesting stories Dan told as well. Definitely go check that out. Highly recommend. But today for episode 101, I wanted to get back to why I'm really here on this channel and why I do what I do, which is my sharing my journey with anxiety, number one, but also sharing with you guys the things that have helped me. And I want to get more into that, more into detail with be more specific with certain things about certain practices that help me, certain mindset shifts, things that help shift my mindset, things that certain like habits I can do, that you can do, that I did, um, that really help you just heal, help further your progress, help you just with your day to day life with and your struggles with anxiety and panic disorder. And so today's episode is 5 ways to slow down your mind. Now, I wanted to do this because I feel like it's very key, especially the way people are constantly on the go nowadays. People are constantly everybody's constantly on the go. And everybody's constantly overthinking things because we're so overloaded with information in our society nowadays. We're so like you can. It's very easy to feel very overwhelmed, feel pressure. A lot of things I've talked about on the show, especially in the last month and about a month or two, really hammered down on that about pressure and just kind of from a spiritual side of it as well, and also just um, what to give energy to, what not to give energy to, how much time you spend on social media, how much do you allow pressure from your peers to affect you, especially as younger people. I'm 24 years old, so it's very easy for people my age group and younger to really feel that pressure and feel easily persuaded to do things or to, um, you know, start doing things that stress you out and make you not evolve, not really help you in your progress in healing anxiety. To put it, if you're healing anxiety, or if you're just in general, just with your overall stress, you know what I mean, just your overall just lifestyle, way of life. And so today I wanted to show 5 ways to help slow down your mind and also to help further your progress. And so these 5 things that I listed today are the 5 most key things that really helped me. So all 5 of these I've used and I still use in my daily life, and just kind of because over time it just starts to become your lifestyle. When you do these 5 things, it really starts to implement. It helps you to start to implement who you really want to become, right? Your true self, reaching your goals, how you want to respond to certain fears, really just more internal goals, how you want to be internally, how you want to respond to things. If you're used to responding to things in such a fearful manner and such a you know you lead you to an anxiety attack. Like for instance, if you hear like a noise outside, you think it's a bomb going off, or really just a car backfiring, or just little things like that. Like, and you'd be surprised. That's like a big one I hear from a lot of people, and I used to be like that as well. when you're very nervous, you're very uptight, you're very stressed out, any little noise in the outside world that could seem loud or anything, we could start to uh, overreact to it, right? We could start to think it's we get panicked by it because we're already so sensitized already in our system. We're not we're going way too fast. Our nerves are up. Our system's on just overdrive. Everything's just going nuts, and so any little thing on the outside world can add fuel to that and just make it go worse, right? And that's just one example. And I see this all the time too. Anybody has like these, like the Ring camera system or any of these camera systems on your house or on your wherever, whatever you have, and they have like the community tabs on there. And a lot of times these community tabs are for people to like share things. Hey, share things like, oh, hey, I heard something, or somebody was in my backyard. I got them on tape. That's what it's really intended for, right? To help spread community, safety, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of times, I see so many on my community all the time. People say gunshots. They think it's gunshots, or they think it's the worst case scenario always, right? And it's never that. It's always just something like a fire. Somebody's lighting off fireworks in their backyard, or yeah, it's this little like you see it all the time. And it's really just an example of just how everybody's just on overdrive in our society because any little thing they hear, any little thing they see, it's to the worst case scenario. They're not able to when you're constantly on overdrive, you're going so fast, your nerves are up, your system's on overdrive, just you're out of balance, really. Any little thing you hear or see or do or just it's over exaggerated, or it's the worst case scenario, or it's doomsday. You know what I mean? It's always that you're not able to think properly and see things clearly when you're not right and turning with your mind, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You're out of balance. So, what? How can we help to slow down your mind? I think it's where it starts. Slowing down your mind first, because it all starts up here. Slowing down your mind. Now, mentally trying to slow down your mind, it's not going to work. It would just be a bigger tug of war going on. Mentally trying to solve things, mentally trying to heal your anxiety, mentally trying to do everything is a recipe for failure. You're not really going to get that far because all you're going to do is you're just adding more to the problem. You're already overthinking a lot mentally. So why would you want to combat that with more mental, chatter, more mental, just fight? But it just becomes way too much up there. So, what are ways that you can use in the outside world physically in terms of just, how can I practically help slow down my mind? And these 5 things are the ones that really helped me. So, number one, the first thing that helped me was slow down your speed. Now, what do I mean by slowing down your speed? Well, your pace, how fast you talk, how fast you walk, your pace throughout your day. Are you driving like a maniac? Are you that person that's in a hurry to go nowhere like everybody is nowadays, almost causing accidents? How, that's not how many times I got to be out on the bike or driving in a car. Everybody's just in a hurry to go nowhere nowadays. Like, where are you really in such a fire old hurry to go? It's just dry. I mean, people, it's crazy, especially when you're out on a bike like I am all the time. You can really observe everything because you're on a bike. I'm going slower speed, and when you're going slower, you can actually that makes sense. You can see things for what they are. Now, I'm not saying drive like a Sunday driver, going 40 down the expressway, but what I'm saying is find a pace that is legal. Number one, I'm just using driving an example, but also that you know, will affect you. You know what I mean? Your pace, how you drive, how you talk, how you fast you walk. All that really plays an effect into how you're going to feel. If you really want to help slow down your mind, how much inner peace you're going to have, how much can affect how much rather. It all plays a part in that. It all plays a part in that balance and that energy field you have. You have an amount of energy points every day. And so every time, or imagine like, if you play a video game or something and the players or even in real life if a player in a game is getting if he has runs full speed the whole game right in the beginning of the first quarter, he's going to get tired by the second, third, and fourth quarter. By the fourth quarter he's gassed, he can't go anymore. It's the same thing in everyday life. And so focusing on your speed, focusing on your energy points is really key. And I think, like I said, how fast you walk, how fast you talk to people, how fast are you somebody when you're talking to somebody because you're so caught up in your anxiety, you're so caught up in how you're feeling. When you're talking to somebody, you're just trying to hurry up and get out of the conversation as quick as possible. Sometimes it doesn't have to be just in person either. That could be over the phone, you texting or calling or just everything's so fast and hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, right? Got to get to the next thing, got to get to the next thing. But all you're doing is adding more fuel to your stress, all adding more fuel to the fire. And so, what are some practices that have helped me? Well, like I said, focus on slowing down your speed and your pace. Now, here's a little tip that I haven't really heard a lot of people ever really. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody share this. This is something that I made up that helped me, and maybe it'll help you. Take somebody, for instance, like a little kid who's never ridden a bike before, right? If you take a little kid that's never ridden a bike, he's going to try to get, if he tries to get on the bike without the training wheels, he's just going to fall off or he might go, it's just, you know what I mean? He's not going to, that's why they give you training wheels. Because if a little kid tries to ride a bike without the wheels at first, without ever riding one, he's going to fall off, possibly get hurt. And, where he's in the grass, even, he'll fall off and still lay on the ground. So, you know, that's why they have training wheels. Okay. So, same thing can be applied here to your mind. I hope you get where I'm going with this. Uh, Sorry if I'm over talking a little bit, but I'm trying to get to my point. But uh, noises. Now, what I mean by noises, if you have a pair of headphones, right? There's green noise nowadays. You guys know the noises now, the really calming noises. There's green noise, there's brown noise, there's white noise, there's pink noise, and who knows what else. But those are like the main ones, like white noise, brown noise, green noise, and pink noise. I think when you go into a lot of like doctors' offices nowadays and places like that, a lot of them are playing white noise in the lobbies now, which I actually like. I think it helps calm people down, maybe people there with anxiety. Um, it just creates a more calming atmosphere, and it really does scientifically. I think it's even shown. That's why you're seeing it promoted a lot more now. It's just the effects it has on your mind and just how the sound, the soothing sound, um, whatever one fits you, like I said, really just helps slow down your pace. Even if you want to put noise in your ear like rain, if you like, so you're somebody that likes rain, likes hearing the sound of rain. Here's my whole thing with it: put the headphones in your ears, right? If you're somebody that's constantly just been on the go so much, and you're having a hard time, maybe at first slowing down on your own, this is your training wheels. So put the headphones in your ear, find what noise you like best, and throughout your day, whether you're walking around the house, whether you're at work, if you're able to do this, whether you're out on a walk, out in nature, whether you're doing chores around the house, like I said, or um, cooking dinner, stuff like that, even driving in your car, put the brown noise in, or white noise, pink noise, green noise, whatever you like that calms you the most, and act as you have that in your ear. Because what it did for me when I started doing, I still use this all the time. If I feel like a little overwhelmed sometimes during the day, if I'm outside, or I got done doing something, I'll just put the noise in my ear. I'll just start walking, and kind of like your training wheels. I'll start walking around or doing whatever I'm doing. I have that noise in my ear, and I've noticed the more I did that, it would help me slow down in what I'm doing, which ultimately helped me slow down everything, slow down my thinking patterns, slow down my thought processing, slow down my action, slow down my pace, slow down the way I was talking, slow down everything. It just slowed down everything. And then eventually, over time, you can take the headphones out, and before you know it, you're back down to that pace. And you can do this for repetition if you want. If you want to start off doing this maybe 3 to 4 times a week for 21 days, uh, try or no, 3 to 4 times a day. Excuse me, I misspoke. Try this maybe like 3 to 4 times a day for 21 days straight throughout your day. Just do it, and you just slowly start to train your mind. And over time, you won't need the headphones. You'll know how to calm yourself down. You'll know how to maybe go outside nature, right? You start to expand more. You take the training wheels off now. But I think because we're so overloaded with information nowadays, and just we're constantly on the go, the rat race we live in, I think it is key to have a tool at first that can help you just with your, whatever we see and hear help affects us. So I think if we can put something that we can hear in our mind, it can really help us in a positive way and go out I prefer to do this actually going outside in nature, because you're seeing something and you're hearing something that's peaceful. But if you have to do it, like I said, just going around your house, especially like if nobody's home either, if you're by yourself for a couple hours, you can just before people get home, you can do this to help you up, set you up for the rest of the day. Especially maybe you got chaos coming home later, but no, but you know something that's what really helped me to help slow down my speed and really being focused on that. And I think too, just um, there's other things that help people slow down too. Coloring, if you like to color or stuff like that, even that can help you. But I really like this tool. I've never heard that one used by a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people like to play these noises in their background, maybe through their Alexa or their phone throughout the day, maybe in their office or wherever. But I think if you have to go on around the house, move around the house, or I think it's better to have it in your ear to really hear it, and then eventually really start to calm down. So that's what's helped me slow down my speed. Now the second thing, I'm gonna go a little faster here for you guys. I don't want to take all your time. Meditation and reframing, and really we could add here rest as well. Because I think every time I meditate throughout every day, when I take time out of my day for about 20 minutes or so, it's really kind of a rest time for me too, just to kind of unwind and to let go. And as far as meditations go, I've done a video before on meditations. I think surrender meditations are the best ones to me, because you're kind of just surrendering whatever's going on in your day, whatever thought patterns, whatever anxieties, whatever past memories, whatever's bothering you the most. Maybe you were in the car that day and some guy cut you off and you cut him off, or you got in an argument with somebody in the car and they gave you the bird, you gave them, whatever. Whatever happened that day, right? That you're still aggravated about. Maybe you had a bad day at work, maybe somebody pissed you off, maybe whatever, right? You're just irritated, you're worried about something in the future happening that's occurring right now. Surrender sessions, letting go, right? Very key. I think those ones you could take, you know 13 to 20 minutes out of your day to do those, because some of them, I think Dennis is the one he has is about 13 minutes, so that's why I say 13 minutes. That's what I recommend. I'll link that below. Whatever one you find online, maybe it's 20 minutes. They really just help you just to let go and just lay down, preferably lay down, or just sit in a comfortable area. Just take that time, maybe on your lunch break, out in your car, at home, find your safe space where you won't be bothered. Because you don't want to be bothered when you do this. This is your time for you to rest, to clear your mind, and to slow down. And I think reframing as well, because I think a lot of times what's causing the way you're going out throughout your day is just going off a past memory, right? You're acting out of fear still. You're still working through that stuff. Reframing is very key. Reframing those initial traumas from your childhood, maybe the root causes, and constantly reframing those things. Maybe something that happened in your adulthood. Maybe something that happened recently that's really bothering you. And I'll link one below that's 7 minutes that Dennis has. That's really good, where you just kind of like imagine that scene that bothers you on a picture frame, and you imagine you're throwing the picture frame away and out of your head, and everything evolved, all the emotion, everything just thrown out of the way, right? And you have a new picture frame and how you really want to see that event, how you wish things would go. It's a really good reframing practice to kind of just reset and to just let go of that memory, let go of whatever's bothering you, and and again, this is good for any time, you know, whether it's past or current, something that's happened that's bothering you. And so reframing is very key. Meditation, letting go is very key. I sometimes I do both of them together if I need to. I'll do the reframing first, and then I'll go right into the letting go meditation. And those two back to back to me for 20 minutes, they equal out to 20 minutes, the two I use. Um, really help balance me out if I need it, and just help me I just feel so great for the rest of the day. And it's over time, the more I've done it, when you make it a daily practice, if you can, or at least try maybe, 4 times a week to start off, the more you do it, the more you'll start to feel the effects in a positive way. And you'll start to feel that healing. You'll start to feel more confident, but you also start to slow down your day. You'll start to slow down more. The more you start to slow down, you find clarity in things. You start to see things for what they really are, not only internally, but also in the external world. And you have more inner peace, and the anxiety lessens. We're almost to a point where the anxiety is gone sometimes. And so that's a very good one, with the reframing meditation, which help also go with rest. I need a drink of water. I say sometimes you just gotta slow down. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just need a drink of water. You need a drink. You need a drink of water. Get a drink of water. We'll all take a drink of water. Good. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. How about that? There you go. Anywho, number 3. Focus on and study truth. Now, truth for me, if you're somebody with a spiritual background, and if you're not, just stay tuned. That's okay. No judgment here. Um, like for me, what helps me with focus on truth. The first thing when I think of truth for me as a Christian is focusing on God's promises. What His Scripture says. You know what the Scripture say. What does the Bible say about certain things? You know, if I'm dwelling on things that are maybe affecting my day, my speed, about things I don't have yet, or things I want to achieve. Right, I got to think about all the things I got to do today alone, or down in the future. Or, you know, if you're focused on that societal pressure, like I said, focus on truth, which we talked about on previous episodes. Focus on God's truth. Focus on what Scripture says, God's promises, God's timing, God's will for your life, which also is good for surrender session and the meditation number 2 as well, because it helps surrendering to God's will. Helps you with that, to surrender, let go, right? Helps anything surrendering. Serenity is key. And so, Scripture for me, looking at God's truth, studying truth. You know, if you want to do sermons, take time out of your day to watch a sermon. You can watch Charles Stanley, Tony Evans. I'm sure both of them on here, or Billy Graham, or whoever. What your local pastor, your church. A lot of churches now stream. Go back and watch sermons. Maybe start out team. Whatever helps you focus on truth. All right, that's all I'm getting at. Maybe sing song, listen to music, that good gospel music, or something that helps you focus on truth. And a lot of times, truth also is the evidence you have. You know, if you're a hypochondriac, you probably have been to the doctors or the hospital many times, the ER. For me, it was many doctor's appointments, right? And so many times my doctor would be like, Joseph, there's nothing wrong with you, dude. All right. This is when I was back in my like heyday of bad, health anxiety at first, right? Probably around 16, 17 years old, 18 too. Right. And so I remember my doctor, when I go to the doctor's appointment, she was like, listen, how many times I got to tell you you're okay? And it would be every appointment, every 3 months you had to go because I was on medication at the time. But I always think something's wrong. Every time I would go, I'd be panicking. And each time it started to slowly get better. But you guys know how it is. You're somebody who's a hypochondriac or was a hypochondriac like myself, or is currently dealing with that. And I know many family members who have driven themselves to the hospital many times in the past when they were going through it. And a lot of times they got there and the doctor was like, or ma'am or sir, you're just having a or not a heart attack. No, God forbid. Sir, you're not having a heart attack. You just had a panic attack. Um, and you just had an anxiety attack. That's all it was, not a heart attack. Wasn't what you thought it was. Because oftentimes we think, um, it's anxiety attacks, and then when you're having panic attacks, especially in the middle of the night or home alone or alone somewhere in your car driving, it can be very scary. And I know that I've been through, but that's my evidence for me. And ultimately, what helped me overcome my anxiety and panic disorders was, I knew my evidence, which was I had to really just tell myself, Joseph, you've been through probably, thousands of tens of thousands. It seems like tens of thousands of times, just of attacks for 8 years in your life, and nothing ever happened to you, not one time. Nothing, literally nothing ever happened. Sometimes that would happen bad, where I had to go home or leave my environment, or call for my support. But nothing ever happened to me. My worst fear never happened, and a lot was related to hypochondria. Never happened. Or people, whatever fear I had, the anxiety never affected me, never harmed me. Number one, because it can't. But also number two, it never led to my worst case scenario. But you also have to focus on what the truth about what anxiety really is, and that's where you really start to find peace. What really help you start to slow down is once you know what anxiety and panic really is, it's game over. It should be game over for you, because you should take that and be like, damn, this is what anxiety and panic really is. This is what I'm worried about. Like, um, my worst fear isn't, let me fix my camera here. There we go. That's all it was. It was just really just me, it was a reaction, my body reacting normally to a fear I had, or, whatever I was going through at the time. It was very, have grace upon yourself. That's the real I'm getting at. Have grace upon yourself. Focus on the evidence. Slow down, focus on truth. And not only that, look how, like I said, look how far you've come too. Focus on your progress. Focus on the evidence as well as like, man, I made it through all that and then nothing's happened. I'm still here. Like I'm good. Like just this shit, this can't bother me. You know what I mean? And also, you're not alone. You're not alone. And that goes to number 4, community and support. And I needed some more water. Sometimes when you're talking for a while, you start getting cotton mouth and all that. Man, you need some water. But um, community and support. You know, community and support is so important. But I think the first part, community, and what really helped me was when I looked at my evidence. Part of that evidence also was you're not alone. You're somebody out there that thinks you're alone. You think you're by yourself. You're the only one going through this because it can feel like that. Trust me, I understand. Sometimes it feels like nobody understands around you, and you know it's just hard when you're in that kind of predicament. You feel like you're all alone. You feel like, how am I ever going to get out of this? You feel like you're trapped. You feel like you're stuck. But that's why, like, when I found somebody like Dennis, and why I do what I do now to do the same for you guys, to let you know you're not alone. I've been there. He's been there. Any little fear, any little the weird symptoms that anxiety gives you all throughout your body, I've experienced it, and so has he, and so has many other people. You're not the only one. I think I read a stat one time. I think 1 out of 4 people in the emergency room right now are there because of anxiety and panic. So really, it's because all anxiety and panic is a false alarm. That's all it is. And if you ask a lot of like EMTs and people that go to calls all the time, police officers, first responders, they get calls a lot of things. They'll tell you a lot of them are just people that are just panicking about something. They're going through something mentally, and they need somebody to talk to. Sometimes people need to know they're not alone. Because when you feel like you're alone, everything goes into overdrive, and you feel, and that can lead you to wanting to go to the ER, wanting to call for help or panic, and go into the worst case scenario, like I talked about earlier. You start driving like a maniac, or if you're in your car, you know what I mean. Everything just goes into overdrive, and just everything's just go 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 go. Because all it is your lower self's trying to tell you to stop this. We need to stop this now. We're in danger. Your mind thinks you're in danger. Your lower self, as I like to call it, your subconscious mind, lower self. I like lower self too, like Dennis said. But that's all it is. And community is so important because for your life, really, especially with healing anxiety and panic, though, because and helping your progress, helping to slow down. Because when you have good community and like-minded people that are trying to do the same, that have maybe been where you've been, have made it, or are going through it, but also are positive, focused on progress people, that's very key. Is who you I'm not saying avoid people that are negative, or avoid people that maybe you need to, you just need to set boundaries with certain people. You need to remember you have energy points, and you have to be very aware of who you give your energy to and who you share yourself with, because that affects you in return. So if you surround yourself with people that are like, focused on progress like you, or people that support you, that want to help, love and care for you, and love and connection is very key. Physical touch is very key. That's something I had to work on more, and still am working on more of in my life. And so, um, in turn, where I'm at now, my journey, but and because a lot of my community was kind of just like I said, my episode 2 episodes ago. When I was going through my darkest days with agoraphobia was really bad, and my health anxiety was really bad. I didn't talk to anybody for years. Almost like 6, 7 years. I didn't talk to anybody. Really, I mean, I would see people here and there, but I was just in my house for 6, 7 years. I had no community, or I had my family, obviously my home, and they did the best they could. But that's a lot for two parents. One, going through that, and they had their own stuff they had to go through, and another child. And I have family members as well around that will come and help me out tremendously. But in terms of like community, your friends, your family, your people, if you have a significant other, like a girlfriend or a wife or husband, or boyfriend, whatever. um I didn't have any of that for 6, 7 years, and I didn't realize the effects it had on me until this past year, when I really started to, I went through the inner circle program and started to really dive deep into things that were at the root core that were bothering me still, that I was still carrying the pain around of. And that was a lot of it. That was part of the pain, was those years feeling that pain of the lack of that. Because without that, man, you start to become very desensitized, and you start to become very angry at times. You could start to, you know, you need to calm down. It's like a lot of guys will tell you a woman's touch on a man could really just calm you down because that's just how we're made. That's how God designed, you know. Or just feeling God's presence, hugging somebody, even anybody, can really just calm you down and just really help you just to reset. If you want to cry, I don't like when people, you know, try to tell people to suck things up and hide things in, and you're just making the problem worse. If you don't want to cry in front of people, that's fine. I'm not saying cry all the time. Don't be a crybaby and be a victim. But I'm saying if you got stuff you want to let out, you got a moment, let let things go. All right, you got to let things out. You got to let things go. That's why Dennis always says get rid of the freaking tissues. He hates tissues. Dennis, the anxiety guy. Get rid of tissues. That's what he said. Get rid of tissues. Now I need tissues because I live in a cold climate. Sometimes our nose gets runny and we need some tissues. All right. But anywho, I'm just saying, if you live in, the allergies this year too. My gosh, the allergies. And it's the sciences where I've been at the last couple months have just been out of crazy. But anywho, um, well, that's a whole other topic for another day. But um, yeah, I mean, just let things out. Love, support, connection, community. All these things are important. And when I started to reconnect with my community again, I found out, like, damn, I'm really not the only one that's going through this. And that not only am I not the only one, this person goes the exact same thing I go through. They really know what I'm talking about. And they actually, a lot of times, some people are going through a lot worse than I was going through. Real life problems. They got responsibilities that, like, they got kids, they got, jobs, and a lot of you guys, when you listen to this, are there. You're not the only ones. You're not alone. And that's very key and very crucial to remember that. You're not alone. And discuss goals with people, discuss goals, discuss how what's helping you, helping you work. Discuss maybe this white noise, walk around the white noise meter that really help you. Talk progress with people, talk positivity, and be honest with people too. I think honesty is very key too in community. That's something we don't see a lot of nowadays. We see a lot of people are so worried about what other people think. They're afraid to be themselves. Be you, and you'll find the right people out there that will connect to you. God will lead the right people to you, and He'll lead you to them. Um, that's what He intends. So He intends for us to have community, but people that will help us help each other grow, and ultimately further His kingdom. And so, but even if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in that, if you don't believe in anything spiritual, although I highly recommend that because if you don't believe in anything, you're probably not gonna believe in yourself. Find something. Start somewhere. Believe in something. Believe in yourself. Believe in something. Start somewhere. Like I've said before many times in the show. Um, but when you surround yourself with like-minded energy and people and community, you'll be naturally start to be somebody that people want to gravitate towards as well. If you're a negative person or you're in a negative energy, negative state of mind, people aren't going to want to be around you because if you constantly sit around and talk about the bullshit in your life and this is happening, this is going wrong, and you just constantly want reassurance seeking and, uh, just negative things that aren't healthy for you. The past, dwelling on the past, dwelling on the past. That was me for a while. Um, like really over dwelling it because I didn't know. It was just too much going on in my mind. I couldn't sit and process it until I had to slow down. And so, again, be somebody. You should want to be the person around people that. Who do you want to be around? Who are the people you like to be around? If you want to be around negative people, you're just going to get negative results. So it's up to you. If you want to be around people that are positive and loving and caring, and you see a light shining through them, and they just brighten your day every time you just see their face. They don't have to say anything to you when you look at them. You see their eyes, or maybe if you're a guy, you like a pretty girl or whatever. I mean, stuff like that. I'm just using an example, but stuff like that. Just use people that brighten your day, or like like I have family members and friends. When I see them, maybe I haven't talked to them in a while, or every time maybe I talk to them. There's people I talk to every day, but then when I see them, or like we see each other, we just laugh, we just smile. We don't even say a word to each other. We just start smiling and laughing. That's just how we are. Like they just brighten your day. They're positive people. We're like minded in a lot of ways, and And not saying it's good to be around people in a positive way, in a healthy way that, are different than you in different ways. That's great because you can learn from people, and God made us all different for a reason, because if we were all the same, this would be a boring place. But, just being around like-minded people, looking at people in a way that, well, not looking at people. What am I trying to say here? That sounded awkward. Pause. But no, I got my. What was I trying to say? Oh, I said. Oh, like I was saying, even when like you're around people, even when you just look at them, when you look at each other, you just start smiling. Positive thing, positive energy. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, I got mixed up there for a minute. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, just and when you're in the grocery store, even you skip the self checkout. Sometimes you gotta go. I understand. Sometimes I go to self checkout too, but it's too busy. I'm trying to get the hell up out of there. But if I got the option, like I like to go to the store at certain times of day if I can, when it's not really like as busy, because I can kind of it's a lot calmer in the store, and just it's not, I don't feel hassled, or it's more enjoyable. But I can also, and this helped me as well. I used it as opportunity every time I go to the store at certain times of the day, like middle of the day or whatever, as you can, or in the morning or maybe late evening. Um, is you can go to the register because a lot of times they're open. And you can really strike a good conversation with the person working the register, and just ask them how their day's going, even if it's just for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? That's community, that's connection. And a lot of times you find things that you guys have in common. Maybe just little things, like a lot of times, like I've had cashiers ask me, like, how does this thing taste? How does that? I mean, just little things like that. Or how's your day going? Ask them, and they'll start talking about the weather outside. Or me and some guys start, BSing about how bad the Browns have been recently, against the fanciest play calling. And so, but that's just one way. I'm just using an example. But or maybe just talking about, I've had people comment me on I'm out on my bike before. I'll stop at the store and get a water if I run out, and the guy's like, "Man, I really like your bike," and start talking about bikes, or and just stuff like that. You can find connection and support in many ways, and community. And so those are all examples you can use, and all that's very important to help you just slow down. Because when you feel community, when you feel support, connection, you naturally slow down your mind, because you feel more comfortable around people. When you feel more comfortable around people, and just in the external world, the more you're going to slow down your mind, the more you're going to heal, the more you're going to further your progress. And so, lastly, exercise and proper nutrition. Now, find a good exercise routine for you. I would say, if you're somebody that hasn't exercised in a long time, um, start off moving around just 20 minutes a day, whether it's on a walk, preferably outside. Go on a walk outside, eventually go into a light jog, or if you have a bike like I do, maybe go for a little bike ride for 20 minutes or more. I would start off with at least 20 minutes, maybe 30, and start doing that. Do that for about 3 weeks straight, and then you can start to increase. Or if you have somebody who maybe is you've been active still and you already are exercising, continue to do that. I would say make sure you get your rest days in there. If you're on like an actual like workout routine like myself, um, like it's very important to get your rest day. Listen to your body. Don't overwork your body, but also don't let your body just sit around and not move around ever either. Moving around is great because it helps you just to let out that energy, any build up tension. And the exercise is a very good and healthy way to really balance out your system. And so, and sweating is great too, because it lets out a lot of endorphins, and just lets out. It just, you feel good after you work out. You feel like you accomplished something. And I think working out is really good too. If you're somebody that's on a journey, if you're on your healing journey, I think working out really helps you, because um, it's like a mindset thing. At least for me, it takes me back to when I would train when I was an athlete. When your team and you guys were, my buddies would go work out, get ready for the season. Training was like a mentality. It was like getting ready for the season. We have goals we're gonna achieve. We're gonna achieve them. We're gonna be the best we can be. I think exercise can be the same thing for you. When you're working out, listen to music or podcasts, whatever. You feel like you're running towards your goals. You're on a treadmill running, or running outside. I feel like you're running towards your goal. You're running towards who you want to become, right? It's a mentality thing. You want to keep that going, that positive energy, that mindset. It's all about mindset. And so, excuse me, that's really good. A balanced diet's really good. Make sure you get all the proper things, good, healthy, clean foods the best you can. I know it's hard nowadays, because you want to be healthy here in the United States. You have to overcharge for things, and everything's overly expensive. But it's cheaper to eat bad, but if you want to, you have to make the investment. You have to, you actually, if you go to local markets in your area, if you go to like I have many in my area, you can find good food for a good amount for a reasonable price, probably the same price, actually cheaper at times, and just, try to eat as home as much as you can. Learn how to cook. Learn how to like I can cook for myself all the time. I cook lunch for me today. I can, yes, I can cook. Your boy can throw down too, but um, yeah, I can cook. I can cook for game days. I can cook, and I can cook for I make my own meals every day. Sometimes I have places I gotta get quick lunch. I got places I go that have cleaner foods, but um, a good proper nutrition is very key. I think getting the right balance of foods and like healthy fats. I think high protein. Protein's very key. I think proper hydration. That's my next point I wrote down. Hydration. Drink half your body weight in ounces every day. Right. So if you're 200 pounds, you drink at least 100 ounces of water every day, um, or whatever you weigh. None of my business. That's yours. But drink half your at least half your body weight in ounces, and incorporating electrolytes in there as well is very good. You can find electrolyte drinks. Um, Try to get ones with zero sugar in them or low amounts of sugar. That's very key. Other you can buy many. I drink all the time with no sugar in them. So eliminate the sugar out of those drinks. Hydration is very key. Electrolytes really key. The more your body's up to par, the better you'll feel by yourself, but the better you'll feel mentally as well. If you have poor nutrition, if you're not hydrated properly, if you're not sleeping properly, sleep's very key. Your sleep patterns, at least 6 to 7 hours a night. Try that. Exercise is very key. Vitamins and supplements. Now again, when it comes to vitamins and supplements, consult with your doctor, your nutritionist, or whatever. This is not medical advice. YouTube, do not flag me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. But vitamin B, B vitamins are very key. Turmeric's very good. Magnesium, preferably magnesium glycinate. There's many other, CBD is very good. Good clean CBD rather. Don't get some weirdo stuff, but you can get good clean CBD. Again, consult with your doctor, whoever, about all these products before you start taking them, and find what's best for you. There's things out there that can help you find what's good for you. Maybe go see what's that called? I can't think right now. It's slipping my mind. Uh, what's up? Damn, it's slipping my mind. I can't think of it. Forget about it. Just go find somebody that can help you. All right, a holistic person. My bad. I couldn't think of it. A holistic doctor, and they'll help you. Maybe get on the right plan as well. That's really good. Um, Yeah, and just a balanced diet, exercise, nutrition. I know it says exercise and proper nutrition, but I think, balanced diet, exercise, I think sleep, hydration, all this stuff goes into this. And so taking care of your body as well, like magnesium is great. You can absorb magnesium through a bath, even like with salts. Put it in a bath, or maybe if you ice your ankles, or some people do that kind of stuff with the cold, you can put it in there as well. Sometimes I have to do mine. Yeah. So exercise and proper nutrition very key, because how you feel, what you put in your body, what you eat constantly, how you go about your day will ultimately how you, like we say in sports, how what you put in is what you get out. So how you perform. So it's the same thing in life. If you feel crappy, you put in crappy food, you're not going to feel that good. So and you're also, when you don't feel as good, you're on low energy, you're on low, bad fuel in your body. You're probably gonna be overwired, and you're probably gonna be on overdrive again, like we were talking about earlier. So that's my 5 things that help me. The main 5 main things. There's a couple, I can get into a couple more, but a lot of them are the 5 main. Those 5 main ones can kind of branch off into many different things. That's why I get different examples for each of them. So I'm a little tired from talking all this, so I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna play this video from the anxiety guy. Um, while I go away, I'm gonna stop in between a couple times, maybe give a couple commentary on a few things. But he's gonna give 3 reasons why you can't stop anxiety, right? And a lot of it goes into what I talked about today, about beginning of the show, about what's causing you to not slow down, what's causing you to not, stop anxiety, what's causing you to what's hindering you in your healing. So these three reasons are very good because they kind of go along with a lot of what I was talking about today. And these five examples I gave today about helping yourself further your healing and slowing down everything. Or when you slow down everything, it'll help further your progress. That's a better way to put it. And so I'm gonna get to this video now. Again, if you're not subscribed, my man Dennis Simsek, the anxiety guy, go subscribe to him. Great content. Best anxiety support there is online. Big part of where I am today is because of him. So go check him out. I'm gonna link this video below, and yeah, let's get to it.
Are you doing everything in your power to heal anxiety, but just getting more frustrated, confused, and impatient along the way? If you answered yes, my friends, this video is for you because we're going to talk about the three reasons for why anxiety sticks around. And these are things that most likely you are not aware of. And when I realized these things in my own anxiety disorder recovery, it was a game changer, my friends. So I'm so excited to present this information to you so that you can use it starting today and really supercharge your anxiety recovery. All right. Without wasting any time, I want to get into number one. Number one is because you are obsessed with healing every element of anxiety constantly instead of living out the identity that you've worked so hard to create. So you're living life from a place of fear of something getting worse rather than the pleasure of something that is being altered. That's a more than anxiety moment. Take it in right now. Look at your life and look at the results that you're getting on the inside and the outside in your life. My friends, are you living from the perspective of hoping that things don't get worse and looking to prevent that worse from happening at every moment of every day? Or are you living your life based on this alteration that's happening, this change that's occurring, going, hey, change is happening. And the interesting thing with change is that the physical body, more often than not, is the last part of us to catch up to the changes that we're making mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's an important point to understand because a lot of anxiety sufferers who also are dealing with health anxiety, health related concerns constantly are going, well, I'm putting in all the work. What's going on? Why isn't my body changing? Why aren't these feelings being released? Why are these sensations and symptoms of anxiety still there? Well, that's why they're there. The body is the largest part of the subconscious mind. What we're trying to do here is to convince our lower self, our subconscious mind, that the world is in fact safe. And this brings me to reason number two. Reason number two is that your neurology's job is to make your present reality conform to your memories. I think I have an ant on me. So, your neurology's job is to make your present reality right now conform to your memories, my friends. And so this is an important point to understand because we often think that things that happened in our past are in our past, but that's not necessarily true. And also, when we talk about memories, it's more so the way we interpreted those memories at the deepest levels, right? We saw fear, we heard fear, we felt fear, we tasted fear, we smelt fear in those very moments, and that became the blueprint of everything that we run into in present day. So that's your neurology's job. Whatever memories occurred in your life, it's trying to conform your present reality to fit with those memories. So you're not crazy. You're not going crazy. You're not insane. You're not any of these labels that you give yourself. This is what your neurology feels is best to do right now in your life and the best way to go about life. Now, how does this change your perspective in terms of your anxiety healing? It's important. Now, it also doesn't matter whether it's a memory of the past or the future. Shall I say it? It's a more than anxiety moment that we're having right now. Stay with me. Because if it's a memory of the future, then what we're doing is we are rewriting the memories that happened in our past. Now, in what ways can we do this? Well, the neurology doesn't understand English, it doesn't understand German, it doesn't understand Dutch, it doesn't understand, language as we know it. The neurology does understand imagery. That is why these reframing practices are so important to rewrite those old memories and to update them, to
Now I wanted to stop real quick. He's making some great points that kind of go with a lot of what I said today. And the following up what he just said there at the end, imagery. But also a lot of with imagery is just I think slowing down your mind at first, like I was talking about today. What he would say too is just have grace upon yourself. Serenity. Serenity is key. Like I said earlier, what is serenity? Serenity is letting go. Really, focus on the outside world, trusting beliefs. A lot of what I said today. But like you said there, if you have anxiety about the future, if you're constantly on go and you feel that pressure, like I talk about constantly, when I talk about all the time on my show about that pressure we're under constantly, the rat race. um, Finding peace within that is so key. I think that's why slowing down, meditating, reframing, like you said there, will really help you to find that common ground and that balance in your life that will ultimately help you heal and progress. Because if you're not balanced and you're not finding that inner peace that you're trying to find, you're just gonna feel stuck. You feel like a hamster on a wheel. You're not going anywhere. You're just doing a lot of things that are just adding on to the stress, and so you're just running in circles. And so, well, ultimately, will lead you to go backwards and maybe down again. So we don't want that, obviously. So it's very key to, based on the two things he said in the last point I'll make, really take these things to heart and really apply them. And really, you got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to make the decision: do I really want to help myself, or do I want to stay stuck at where I am? Have you associated enough pain and enough dissatisfaction and just tired of what you've been doing that you have the choice now to change that? It's up to you. So that's really where it all starts, is making that choice and applying all these things the 5 things I shared today and the 3 things he's sharing now. So you have to make that choice for first and understand why you're making that choice and really believe in it and nail down on it and commit to it. That's very key, commitment. So yeah, let's finish it out.
perceive them. That's very, very important. So, this also brings us to the point where if we can begin imagining something different happening in the future, then our neurology is going to accept that, right? It's going to say, oh, we can take this in because, again, imagery is the language that the neurology understands in terms of how to respond at a physiological and a psychological level today as you go about your life. So, again, your neurology's job is to make your present reality conform to your memories, past and future. Let's use this going forward. Reason number three your anxiety sticks around is that you think that the part of you that's causing the anxiety is you. It's not. Your identity is separate from the programs that are running within your brain and body. That's so important that I feel like I need to say it again. Your identity is separate from the programs that are running within your brain and body. And the biggest epiphany that occurred to me during my anxiety disorder healing was that throughout those first couple years of healing, I thought, you know what? I have to gain the information here, gain the knowledge there, speak to this mentor, go to the acupuncturist, go to the chiropractor, go to the spiritual healer, go to this, go to that. And the more I did, I felt like I was going to get closer to, releasing the tension, releasing the anxiety that was in my mind and body, right? But the truth is that I realized that in order for my anxiety recovery to become supercharged, first I had to become the kind of person that that thing could happen to. Dare I say it? Another more than anxiety moment. So let me say that again. First, you have to become the kind of person that anxiety recovery can happen to. Because if that's not the case, you're going to get progress and you're going to revert back to what's been most familiar, which is anxiety, which is worry, which is defaulting to those sensations, symptoms, and those worries in your mind. So if we look in the mirror and we say, I am worthy of all the change that is happening to me, right? And this happens at a conscious and unconscious level. The worthiness is very, very important. And once we can approach our anxiety healing from this identity, from this perspective, then the road becomes a lot more linear instead of this jagged approach to anxiety healing. So it's about the identity. And you must understand that the programs that are running in mind and body that are spurring on more anxiety, perpetuating more anxiety, are not who you are. You are something different. You are someone different than those programs that are running within you. And once you start to tap into this, then any element of anxiety that shows up, you start to go, that's not who I am. That's something from my past. That's something that I'm unconsciously imagining in the future. It's not who I am. And in that very moment, instead of being fixated on the anxiety symptoms and the elements of anxiety, you get right back to your new identity, the person that you truly are. Another rant. So that's important, my friends. I want you to comment below and let me know which one of these three epiphanies, these reasons spoke to you most deeply. Comment right now and share this video with someone in need, an anxiety support group in need, because we can help more people out there become more than anxiety. Give this video a like and remember that I love you. Have a pleasant and progress filled day. Bye bye, warriors.
All right. So to close out today's video, I like the last point he made there to finish out my closing remarks as well. Um, don't beat yourself up and don't, you know, focus on, like you said, focus on, am I acting like how I am in the past? Is that my old past pattern that wasn't my habit or my thought pattern? And really disconnect yourself from that and to really start becoming who you want to become, your true authentic self, who God made you to be. And I think the more you do that, the more you disconnect from that, from those old habits, the more you start to find that inner peace, and the more you start to find that healing. You start to focus, and you really do start becoming who you want to become, and things really start to seem obtainable. Your goals and dreams and desires, you really seem real, and so stay focused on that, and just stay focused on the progress you're making, and leave a comment below. What anything that I said today that really stood out to you that could maybe you've already one of the 5 things I've shared that really aren't you've already been using that are helping you. Share that below. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. If you're new here, make sure you like, subscribe, and share for me. I'd really appreciate that. Everybody like this video for me right now. Helps me fight the algorithms. I'd really appreciate that. And like I said, leave your comment below. I love when you guys give me feedback on what's going on. If you need any help or support, my contact's down below. You can hit me up at any time. Dennis contact, you can contact him as well. He'll definitely help you. I'll link below all the stuff I use from his YouTube page and his website, the programs, the meditations, the reframing practices that really help me. So definitely give those a use and start using those. And yeah, and go check out episode 100 if you haven't seen it yet. Very entertaining. Go check it out. So that's all I got for you guys today. Love all you guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Gone. Maybe. Okay, now I'm gone. Gone.